So today I'm going to be using this clay. This is air dry clay. It's called Plus. It was rather expensive. This packet was $20. Very expensive, no firing necessary. So we'll see how this works. It's called Plus Clay Terracotta. So it's terracotta red. Ultra fine grade, low shrinkage, clean handling. So I'm not really sure if it's going to be a great clay, but I'm going to do a small sculpture in it just to test it out to see if it's any good. One of the problems with sculpting is that you have to fire terracotta, or if you use oil-based plasticine, you have to make a mold. This kind of completely gets rid of that, so it's kind of exciting. I do have an idea that I'm going to be doing, but it's a copy of an antique sculpture. Since I don't really know how to use this clay too much, I do have my regular tools and I cleaned them up. The last sculpture I did was a water-based clay, so it's important to always clean your tools. I have an assortment of wooden tools. I do like to use these silicone tools. You can buy them like really cheap. Came with like 10 of these. If you need ideas for tools, watch some of my previous videos. Usually the beginning stages, I will explain the type of tools that I use. But otherwise, we should have this ready. Another thing I'll be using is a PC program that has all my sculptures or my reference up. So this is the reference software that I use. Before, I used to have just a Mac and I would be scrolling through the images left and right. But if you have a PC, this I bought like very inexpensive, and it's a touchscreen. So you want a touchscreen for reference that you get as an artist. So this, you can kind of move around. This program is called PureRef and it's free, you can download it. So this is my idea board. This is what I'm kind of thinking about doing. So in future sculptures, I think I'm going to do a lot more animal sculptures. I've been doing a lot of female nude figures, but I think I'm going to shift a little bit and do some animals. There's a lot of challenge in animals because you really have to like force yourself to do the anatomy of various creatures. And that's another thing, creatures and animals that I'll be doing. So let's say I collected all of these photos. You save them in a folder, and then you put them into here. Just copy, C, copy, paste. And let's say this board, I laid it out, and you can see it's like a scorpion. You can just zoom in, and it really just keeps the same resolution. It does use up all of this. It saves it all in here as the full res that you downloaded, which is really good. So if I was to sculpt a owl like this, I have my owl reference here. So as you're collecting various references, you're putting them on here for reference. So hence the name PureRef. There's another one for Apple that's pretty decent. I forgot the name, but the PureRef is the PC and Linux based one. I've never been a fan of this stuff. First, it's really expensive. And when you have a kiln, you don't have to really rely on this. So the color is pretty nice. Is there a smell to it? Yeah, there's a little bit of a smell. Not a bad smell so far. A lot of times these things have like a sulfur smell. And notice too, like once you open this packet, because it's air sealed, it'll probably start drying the rest of the clay. So my goal is to use all of it as much as I can. There we go. And that's what the clay looks like. So I'm just gonna slice this down just so I can see it. I'm gonna put this aside, make sure I don't get it. So, very interesting clay. It smells a little bit strange. It actually doesn't feel bad to the touch. So I'm going to build my platform. I'm going to use this for the base. Okay. Your hands do get like a nice orange color. Just gonna take my scraping tool. And this does give you like some texture to the ground. You know, even though this is a simple sculpture, don't be fooled. It is a very difficult sculpture to do. So I'm just gonna build it, but I have to build it in a way that I can support. There's a lot to this sculpture. Like, you know, when you look at things, you start to go, oh yeah, that's easy. Oh yeah, it looks like a simple shape, but it is very difficult.